It was a spring evening, and I met her while driving on a quiet Warsaw highway, as it is popularly is nicknamed a, to be precise, the highway M07. There were almost no cars, and there were still 350 kilometers to go. Destination was still 350 kilometers away, and he had to drive straight for most of the way, to go straight ahead. So he turned on the cruise radio and began to enjoy himself. Hello, friends. This is the question and answer program, and we're going to start. We ask you a question, and you answer the first question, $1,000. The second question is $10,000, and the third question, $50,000. Call the number 032131 and try your luck who will be first. I've never heard of this program, although I listen to this wave almost every day. I wonder, does anyone ever win $50,000? For 3 questions, it's more than my monthly salary. That's a bunch of bullshit. I reached for the radio to change the station and stopped immediately when I heard a contestant joining me. Good evening. Please introduce yourself. Please, my name is Ostap. Welcome, Ostap. My name is Anna, and I am the host of this program. Tell us about yourself. What are you currently doing? How old are you? What do you do? The host asked. I'm sitting in the kitchen right now. I'm 38, and I work as a physics teacher. A man. Super Ostap, we're going to ask you a question, and you have 60 seconds to answer it. Answer. If you answered correctly, you can collect your winnings or continue on. However, if you do not answer the next question, then your winnings burns, but you can get a secret bonus. In any case, you won't be left with nothing. So, are you ready? Yes? Of course. So the first question is, what is the largest organ in the human body? Time? Go. Interesting. Okay, I'll listen. What's next? I think it's the skin. Man, and that's the right answer. You just won $1,000. Take it away, the winnings. Do you go further than 1,000? Is it very little? Go further, good on mood. Well, the next question is, how many have there been presidents in the US? Oh, come on. That's a little too much for the little ones. 6. Presidents again, correct Ostap's answer. You have already deposited $10,000. What do you think we should do? Will you take the money once we live? We're playing, but we have to warn you. The last question will not be the same as the previous one. Are you ready? I think I can do it. Let's go to the third question. Okay, the final one. What can kill a lot of people, but if you kill it, you'll die? Think carefully. I'll give you $50,000 and time. When the participant was thinking quietly, and the time was running out. And the final question was coming up. This is a very difficult question compared to the first one. The first one? You have 10 seconds left. The host hurried him along. Get your money ready, friends, because I know the answer. This is the time to exclaim joyfully. The man is incredible, Ostap. You are the first in our program to win the grand prize. Congratulations, Ostap. Our manager will contact you after the end of the program, and we play on. Who else wants to try their luck? Call us at 032131. I still listen to this radio and was in a huge shock after hearing it. My husband, I was eager to play, especially in people are promised a bonus if they lose. I decided to act and quickly entered the numbers I needed and called the radio. Good evening. My name is Bogdan. Welcome, Bogdan. Tell us about I'm a trucker, and I'm driving in a truck right now. Great. Bogdan, are you familiar with the rules of the show, or should I tell you? Anna. No need. I listened to everything from the very beginning. Okay. The first question is, what month has 28 days? It's February, immediately answered. I don't. Bogdan, the correct answer is all. Unfortunately, you lost. But don't be upset, because we have a secret bonus for you. You shouldn't have rushed it so much. It's logical. Thank you. What's the bonus? The man asked. And the bonus is on its way. You're going to Warsaw, right? Yes. How do you know? We know everything. We know. What a bunch of glitches. I'll have a heart attack. I'm not far off, you bastards. No bonus, and the track is probably gone. It's just a clown's guess. It's logical. I and most of my colleagues used we use this route your way on the clock already. It was 1 quiet a.m., and my eyes were starting to feel a little bit blurry, so I decided to stop at the nearest gas station for a little to warm up and get a coffee. But I didn't have to wait long. In a few minutes, I passed a sign that said 500 meters to the gas station is 500 meters away. Bonus gas station with a toilet. As they say, thank you for that. I went into the store. There was no one inside, but that's normal for this time of day, so I didn't wait for the cashier. I just went to the restroom to satisfy my need. Then I went to the sink to wash my hands, and noticed a small inscription on the mirror that said in big letters, "Run" and 3 exclamation marks. What a stupidity. I hope there's at least coffee here. They're making it, so I went to the cash register. Good night, what can I get you? I wish it was a good one. Make me a coffee, boy. What kind of coffee would you like? Espresso latte, I said. No, just make me a simple normal coffee. Here you go, a simple normal coffee. How much is it? Nothing, it's on the house. You can consider it a nice bonus. Wow. Thank you. I'm sorry I jumped on you like that. I'm nervous. It's okay. It's okay. I could tell you were in a mood. I hope the coffee cheers you up. All the best. Thanks again, I said and walked out of the store and stood by the truck and took a pack of cigarettes from my pocket and started smoking. I washed it down with a hot drink, and surprisingly, the coffee was surprisingly. I've probably never tasted coffee like this before in my life. Such good coffee. There was something about it. Something sweet and calming, as if I was drinking it and the world is kinder and nicer. And that flavor, oh, it's like it puts you into a daze when you finish it. I decided to go back for another round when someone hit me on the head, which knocked him out cold. I was so carried away by the flavorful coffee that I didn't even notice someone coming up behind me. Good coffee. Asshole. This guy threw me in the trunk of an old Volvo and drove off in a direction only he knew, on a road known only to him. 2 hours later, we arrived at our destination. To our destination, which was a clearing in the forest, in the middle of which stood a small house, if you can call it a house, because it was in a terrible state of disrepair. Shabby, and there were some pieces of rags instead of windows, and the stench was terrible. The stench of mustiness and rottenness came from this terrible house. The guy pulled me out of the trunk of the car and walked into the... Why did it take so long? You should try to drive on those on their roads. Max, don't whine. You know we don't have much time. We're running out of time. Really? Let's do it next time. I'll do the scarecrow on the radio and you drive them around. Okay, let's go. He hasn't come to his senses yet, Anna asked calmly. No, he's still asleep. I gave him a lot of sleep, but he's strong. The coffee didn't help him. My hands are cold. Okay then. Take the meat to the basement and then come into my office. Girl. The boy took me to the basement, locked the door and went back to his sister, just like she had. The basement was dark, except for one light bulb that was flickering. Hey man, wake up, slamming. I got hit in the face. What if I'm... Who are you? In the basement of those radio things. Man, what the hell have you been doing down here? You know something? After the program, I got a call from this Max, the one who brought you here. Ostap. He said he was waiting for me in the car at the entrance with the money, and in turn, I was very surprised how he knew where I lived, but he came down anyway. Money doesn't smell. Ostap, let's get to the point. How did you end up here? Here you did. Don't interrupt. I got into his car. He was very friendly. He pulled out some papers under the pretense that it was some kind of a participant form, and you have to fill it out first. He showed me some money, probably to make me believe that everything was okay. It worked, and when we started filling out the questionnaire, I felt really stuffy. The air was in the car. Max noticed that I wasn't feeling well and offered me some water. I drank it, and I passed out. I put something in my water. I woke up. I'm here. Fuck. What are we gonna do? We gotta get out of here. My wife and son are at home. Can you keep it down? They might hear us. I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to get out of here? We need to think. I know that the hostess from the radio and this manager are brother and sister. I heard them talking. They're not human. They want to perform a ritual on us. Let's see if we can find something useful here. We'll find a way out. I looked around when you were gone. Nothing but boards and shards of glass. Secret exits. And on top of that, there are other creatures with them. Creatures? Well, I haven't seen them, but they've got some pretty heavy steps compared to these cultists. Cultists. And they don't talk either. They just growl and snarl. I had an idea. How to get out of here. I suggested that Ostap take some small glass fragments and carefully hide them in his sleeve, so that when these scoundrels came to them, they would be able to fight back, and they did. When suddenly, footsteps came from upstairs, and someone entered the... Take these two and bring them into, the Anna commanded. The monsters nodded and started laughing as they approached the men were tied together and gagged. Cheech noticed the same cashier who had made him that delicious, but he looked a little worse for wear. His skin was very pale, and the girl standing next to him was even uglier, and standing next to them were 3 giant monsters like out of a movie called Wrong Turn. With almost no teeth, dressed in some kind of rags, and their heads were disproportionately small in comparison to the Maxim ordered the monsters to hang the unfortunate men by their skin, to hooks that were nailed to the monsters took Ostap first. But he was not going to take part in it. Part of it, he clutched the glass in his hand, and when came ugly close to him, he plunged a shard of wart in her eye. You bastard! What do you think you are doing? Anna kicked the poor man. Why are you standing there? Hang him! She quickly turned to the creatures, who immediately set about doing it. There was a frantic scream. Ostap's husband was hanging by a thread, flowing from his back to the floor. The monsters licked the blood greedily, and the brother and his sister began to read some kind of spell, or a curse or something in some incomprehensible language. And they were very focused on this, so I figured it was his, and tried to untie his hands. Luckily, he was able to use the glass I had brought with me, while I was trying to cut the cord. These people, if you can call them that, so to speak, pulled out a knife and stabbed him into the chest of Ostap's chest, and when his arms were free, I easily untied his legs. The sadists began to cut out the man's heart. He convulsed for a while and died. The bastards took out the heart and started to wash it gently. This is my chance. I was able to sneak out of there. And now all I have to do is find a way out of this. I noticed a staircase and began slowly and quietly descending. I was afraid of the continuation of this. God help me out of here. I'm begging you. Clutching the cross. The cross came down and approached Ray, but they had a combination lock. Damn it. Think about it. You need to enter a 6-digit code, maybe. I was running. I ran out into the road, and unfortunately I didn't see a car coming at a high speeding towards me and crashed into him. Mom and Dad woke up. The boy was happy. Olajik, call the doctor, the woman said, and she rushed to her husband. We were so worried about you. I'm glad to see you with tears in your eyes. Realizing that I've made it, I'm out of here and everything's going to be okay. She hugged me and kissed me. I'm okay now. I'm finally in a safe place and he's not in danger. Good evening, Bogdan. I'm sorry to interrupt. To interrupt you, but how are you feeling? He asked. His head was a little bit... I'm fine. I'm glad to hear it. You were born with your shirt on. A car hit you at a high speed and you only have a few bruises, a concussion and a bruised left leg. But despite all that, you need to rest, so I'm going to have to ask everyone to leave the room. Julia, please don't leave. Just 10 more minutes. I can't get any worse. The doctor's right. You do need to rest. Me and Oleg and I are going home and I'll cook you something. My wife reassured me. I love you. She kissed me and said goodbye. She left the room with her son. The doctor came to me to examine him. He was fine. So he said, Well, Bohdan, I've seen you. Everything is fine. Soon you'll get better soon, I'm glad to hear. And one more thing, you're not hungry. I still have some sandwiches left.